And we're here.
And there we go. Michael!
Jamie.
I have not seen you since
Since last week. So I was trying to get away, but the universe had different plans for me.
Yeah, we weren't going to do this week.
We wanted the universe wanted the cycle to complete. So,
Man makes plan and God laughs.
right. So here we are.
So your plans fell through.
Right.
Lucky us.
We shall see.
We shall see.
But ready for the tens of the tarot?
I don't know. Is anybody else ready? Let's see. Let me bounce over to multi-stream here because I know that we are on Twitch.
Yep.
We are on everything else.
Twitch,
So,
YouTube, and
Twitch,
Facebook.
Well, not on Facebook.
Not on Facebook. But you can
Facebook.
catch the replay there.
But you can catch the replay. So anyway, anything
Yes.
else been going on this week? How's your cards coming along?
They're slow but steady. It's, I'm unfortunately been distracted with other projects, but that's good too because those are the paying ones.
Yeah.
So I've been making small progress the tarot, but it's
So
coming along.
So Michael is working on his own tarot deck.
Yes, a special 100 card tarot deck.
Why 100 cards, Michael?
Because there are a lot of cards from history, earlier incarnations of the tarot, that were weeded out or forgotten or what have you, and I'm bringing them all back in and putting them back in the deck.
That's cool. So what card are you working on now?
So I am in my fives. So I'm working my way through the pips.
The pips.
Yep. But I'm in the fives.
I know
now.
that's been a struggle. Has this helped you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. All the research I do, my talks with you, everything, I learn stuff new every day, and then it's just like I go back and find myself tweaking the cards that I've already done because it's like I've just learned this new thing that I have to put in there.
Oh my God.
So they're
Which, of course, is driving your significant other
crazy. Yeah.
She's ready for him to just put the darn cards out.
Right. Well, I mean, there's still work
I
to
still
be
have
done.
to see your new ones, so that's
Yes,
cool.
yes.
Okay, so we have the tens here.
The tens. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch to say on the tens, if you don't mind indulging me just a little bit to start with.
Okay.
All right, so the first, going back to Pythagoras and the Pythagoreans, right?
Okay.
They're the earliest known systematic cult based on the rule of numbers.
Yep.
All the way back in 6th century BCE.
I remember.
Okay. All right. So
Not that. I remember when it was. Okay.
Right.
My history lesson.
You've heard of those Pythagoreans.
Yeah, they worshipped pythons. They worshipped snakes. Snake worshippers.
No.
Pythagoreans.
No. Numbers was their bag.
Okay.
But they thought of numbers as plural. So they didn't consider one a number, which is why I think in the tarot that might be one of the reasons why we call them aces. There's no ones.
You know what? Why didn't we, when we did aces?
Yeah.
I always look up the meaning of words. I did not look that up.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's here, but if somebody could look up the word ace in the dictionary and find out where it came from.
It means the first, the top.
Right. But I mean, why?
But what I think, this is my hypothesis, my gut feeling is telling me that
Your unsubstantiated thoughts.
My unsubstantiated thoughts and feelings,
Okay.
yes. But, if the Pythagoreans didn't consider one a number, that might be why the tarot doesn't. We just call them aces.
Okay.
All right, now they got the 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9. Those are all their numbers. Now, the 10 is the 1 again, but it's in the new cycle.
Yes.
Right? So it's like this in between a beginning and an end, all that stuff,
right?
Which is perfectly fits with the tarot as well. I mean, that's how I think of the tarot.
Right. Both me and Michael agree. It's like when we look at the tarot, we are looking at cycles of 10 instead of saying 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9, and then you go from there. We just see it as cycles of 10, and we're completing another cycle of 10 here.
Exactly. So we've got the ace, which is all about like the essence of the suite or the whatever you have, and then you've got the that would be equivalent to a 1. And then you've got the 0, which is like the fool, right? The unknown, the 0, the nothing, right?
Right.
So he's
the unnumbered card.
The unnumbered card, exactly. So you've got this guy, and the fool is all about, he's jumping from one incarnation into the next. It's like the between the scenes, backstage, taking it all in before you start the cycle again.
Okay.
So 1 and 0 being connected, you've got the ace, which is the essence, plus the fool, which is the behind the scenes, and that's just like the wheel, which is the 10th card.
Well, hold on. You said that, but this is all going back to the Pythagoreans.
No. I've jumped away. You know, I started with the Pythagoreans, but I'm in
You're
tarot.
very excited about
I am because this is really cool to me how it all connects.
So, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we have the ace, we have the 1, and then we have the fool.
Yeah.
And so the 1 is beginnings, and the fool is the ending.
Because
Some people put the fool at the end of the tarot.
exactly.
Some occult tarots put it actually at 21, in between 21 and 22.
Right.
Which is at your ending there. So you're saying the ace and those so the ace and the fool equals.
It will equal, or exactly, or you got the wheel, which is similar to the fool.
Yes, it is.
So it's
in the sense of
that it's connected in their otherworldliness, but this is an opportunity to disconnect and wander between the scenes backstage, look at the big picture, you know.
Okay.
You're like the wheel is showing the incarnation cycle, just like the fool is jumping from one incarnation
Right.
to the
Okay,
other.
so the fool's journey, we go from one point to the other, and then we start over again. It's just a big
cycle, like a wheel.
Right. Well, the wheel is at the center of everything. You know, that's your hub, and then you've got the fool going around the hub.
Exactly. And then
Look at me go.
I know. And then the next cycle, you've got number 20, which is judgment. Now, a judgment, again, it's the same thing. It's your after
Well,
your hold on.
Yeah.
So after I'm sorry, I'm too excited.
Oh, you are.
So after the incarnation, you're done, right? You've died, and now people are judging you on how they're going to remember your past life. Is it good?
And judgment is XX. Judgment is
20.
20. So
Right.
it's 10.
It's the same cycle again. So it's the same kind of theme, just on a higher level. So you've got the idea of judging, or I like to call the card fame. How will you be remembered? Will your fame be good for good things?
Or as I always say, you reap what you sow.
Exactly.
You sow what you reap.
So will you be remembered for good or ill? This is the question
Right.
of judgment.
And you will be judged.
And you will be judged, absolutely, by either by God or by fellow humans here just remembering you. But either way, you're going to be judged and remembered one way.
And are you going to move on to the next level
the next
when
cycle.
the trumpet calls?
Right. And then you get the last cycle, which starts out with the world, but then goes with my additional cards all the way up to 29, and then in the 30th place, that's where I put my unnumbered card, the Fool, as the thrice great fool.
Oh my God. And again, for those joining us, Michael's creating a deck, but he's doing 100 cards. So
100
he's gonna
cards.
have so there are officially
there
are 6 10s in the deck.
Right.
So as we were talking about, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, you've got Justice, and then you've got the pips.
Yes.
So and on Michael's, he's got number 6, which is the Fool.
No, not number 6.
Not number 6, but the 6th one, number 30.
Right. In the 30th slot, but I'm keeping it unnumbered, is my Fool. That's where I put him because he fits so perfectly.
Are you going to number there? Or are you going to have a 29 and a 20 and a 31?
So all my cards will have numbers except for the Fool. So and
so is he going to be 29 and a half?
No, he'll be unnumbered.
Right. Okay. So are you going to have a card officially called 30?
No, because after 30, then you go back to your court cards. So it's ace through 10 and the ace through 10 for each of the suites.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
So it'll add up to 100 in the end, but but there's an unnumbered card and there's a lot of 10 cycles.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So basic gist is
Yeah.
that why don't we take a look then at the court cards?
Sure. Oh, the court cards we're going to do
not the
later.
court cards. I mean
yeah.
the trumps.
The
majors.
Sure, the majors. Yeah.
So shall we go ahead and pull up? Let's look at the 10 cents.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about anyway.
Yeah, so we are talking about it. This is the wheel.
And so when we look at this, we've already done the trump cards, but so here we are with the 10, and this fits perfect as a 10, and it's really funny. So, you know, me, I don't look at the card makers having historical blah, blah, blah. But 10 is such a strong number. You know, historically, I mean, you look at it, there's 10 fingers, 10 toes, there's 10 commandments, there's, you know, they used to believe at this time that there was 10 bodies because Earth was considered a body.
Right. That actually goes back to the Pythagoreans again.
Exactly. Recognize the existence of 9 heavenly bodies: Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and a so-called central fire.
Right. Now
so
that's
important was the 10 in the view of cosmology that they believed there was a 10th body counter to the Earth. Counter to the Earth.
Yeah. So
perpetually hidden by the sun.
Right.
So it would just revolve.
Yeah. So I think that this was a blind though, because some people say that the Pythagoreans knew about that it was revolving around the sun, or at least some of them did. But they said, but we love the number 10. It's so complete and everything. So we're gonna put in instead of just going around the sun, we're gonna have this so-called central fire, which everything and the sun goes around.
Right.
And then that only gets us to 9. So we'll put in a counter Earth behind the sun
and make it super
10
special.
And make it 10 because the 10 is the magic, completion number, and we can call it a day.
And hola, bon lush.
Love those Pythagoreans.
Yes, and so 10. And it's amazing because the wheel really does represent the next cycle. So whoever made this, when they were making the tarot,
they got it.
They said, okay, this is the next part, so we're going to do the next. And so exactly that, the Wheel of Fortune is about what's going to happen next.
Absolutely.
It's about the next
end of
cycle.
the end of one cycle, beginning of the next.
Right.
Yep.
And then you have Fortuna, which is like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? You know, I ruled, I once ruled, blah, blah, blah. Until,
cranking that wheel.
No matter how good things are, what comes up must come down. And that is the wheel, and that is the cycles.
Yep.
What comes up must come down.
Yep.
And so, yes, and so...
It's a return to that starting point. The cycle's been fulfilled, and it'll start all over again.
Yep. And just like we have here with, this is the Tarot de Marseille, which you can see they're actually going in a different direction.
They are. They're going in Windershin.
Yes.
As opposed to docile.
So we got that, and then we talk about the next cycle then, which is we have our Judgment.
Yes, indeed.
Get all judgy here.
Yeah, I'm changing this card to Fame. Judgment was just too judgy.
I'm tough. I'm thick-skinned.
You can take it.
I can take it.
You can take the judging.
Yeah, and so obviously again here we show Judgment, and as we talked about, you reap what you sow. We're waiting for that trumpet to blast, and if we are worthy, we're ready to move to what?
The next cycle. Exactly. Yep.
So that's the first 2 tens, and then we have the minors.
Yay,
minors.
So you want to start with the swords?
Yep, these are the pips. Oh, do you want to start with the swords?
I'd prefer to.
Okay, so we're going to start with the swords.
So this is the Lord of Ruin.
This is the I'm okay card.
This is the sun in Gemini. So the sun, which is light, which shines over illusion. And you see here the sun rising. This is the golden dawn. It is. This is the awakening of consciousness, and
I've never heard anybody put it that way, but okay.
yeah,
I get
go with me.
I'm with
These
you.
are created by the members of the Golden Dawn.
Yes, this is the Golden Dawn.
This is, and the swords in the back there are going right up the spine, awakening the chakras.
The chakras.
The chakras, yeah. And it's laying.
Yeah, Joe Dworsky talks about that.
Yeah. And it works so well, but it's putting to rest the shadow self. So it's the shadow self is laid to rest, and this little hand gesture here is saying that it's the same gesture of the Hierophant.
It is.
And it's saying that what you see is not all that there is.
Or it could just be a final blessing as you're moving on, because as you're moving on,
right,
there's a final blessing that you're
Sure.
given.
If you want to be more,
so there's a lot of speculation as to why it's specifically there.
well, I like to think is it because death is not the end, as we know, and so this is just saying, hey, there's more, but wait, there's more. You know, I might be dead here with 10 swords in my back, but my journey is just starting over again on that new cycle. I'm going to the next cycle, whether that's a next reincarnation or whether that's the afterlife or, the heaven, if you want to believe in that. But whatever, there's something that's coming next. It's the new cycle starting.
So we have the blackness, we have the darkness, and there is a light shining through that says we will get through it.
Yep.
But I also look at this card, and I remember originally thinking, oh my God, this and death are like the two worst cards out there. And hello, it's practical magic. They just said hello, so I'm saying hello back. And so for me, though, I look at this card. Again, originally it's like, oh my God, this is about as bloody. That blanket looks like blood. It's like, no. This card, this guy's saying, and it literally is, I'm okay. My life is so bad, I even have a sword stuck in my ear.
Right.
And this is the over-dramatic card. This is how we feel when we've lost perspective.
Because it is a pip card, these are the minor things that we can handle. The majors are the higher things that are out of our control. But the pips, with the elemental wisdom that we have, we can kind of control these things.
Yes.
So you're right. Maybe he's just being a little bit overly dramatic here.
So have you seen the Modern Witch version of this card?
I know.
It's all over the internet all the time.
Yeah. Oh,
Everything's fine. I'm okay. She's just reading.
I'm just texting away.
And she
dead to the world.
I love the Modern Witch tarot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And so even she's saying in here the Ten of Swords, everything is fine. It's fine. No, really. Sure. We've been completely pierced through with 10 sharp swords, and you're collapsed into a ball on the floor. You're struggling. You're trying to survive as the weight grows even heavier. You're going through something truly soul-crushing, and it feels like your world is ending. Every moment hurts. Sometimes only a meaningless distraction feels like it'll help, but the pain will end, and you will come out even stronger.
Yeah.
But I love that card. I truly
She
do.
needs to put the phone down, go outside for a walk.
And get off of WebMD.
Yes.
Stop asking for advice on Facebook about that rash.
Right.
Okay? And stop dating boys who give her rash. Or people, whoever it is.
Yep.
Just, you'll be okay. A little ointment, everything's fine.
Just put a Band-Aid on it.
Just put a Band-Aid on it. So, yes. But that's the basic gist with this. And it's not
it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
Even if the death card comes up on one side and the other side is a tower, this is just...
Well, then it might be a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, because of the fact that the trump cards are the destiny cards.
Right.
They're the unchangeables. This is just life.
Yeah.
This is how we feel when we just got bad news.
Sure.
But we will get through it because it is a minor card. And it also can give us a forewarning that says maybe we're taking this a little bit too hard.
Possibly. Yes.
Possibly.
Yes.
So.
Possibly, maybe.
Yes.
But moving on to Marseille.
Marseille. So here we have the 10. And it's funny because this is where Joe Dworsky actually talks about chakras and things like that as the swords are coming through. So 10s are a completion. And so here we have these two swords, And to me, when I look at these are the ones that are bound up. I mean, it's almost like you can't even pull them out when you look at how they're locked in together
Sliding
at the
through
tip
there.
here.
Yep.
It's locked in here. So again, swords are about what? Swords are thought.
Thoughts? Yep.
Swords are the the planning and all that thing that
So
goes
it's
into something.
It's completion of thought, right?
It's the completion. It's like, and swords are a heavy suit. Wands are a heavy suit because they are weapons.
Yep.
And so by being a heavy suit, this is the anxiety that we have. Things are locked up. We can't get them out. It's like, you know what? If you actually just took your time, it's probably like a Chinese puzzle and you just do this and
Right.
you come out. But we're so locked up in thought.
Yeah.
And
But we need to progress past the anxiety of the nines. I see this as like hitting the rock bottom and starting again. Using those two swords to cut away the rest, to clear the slate and complete that thought.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, and the thing is that with nine is the finish line.
Right.
You have reached it. That's your fulfillment.
Almost. Yep. Yeah.
Tens are living the life after the nine.
Right. It's moving
Tens
forward.
are the life after the nine.
Yep.
And so, and that's why you have fulfillment with that. And tens are completion.
And new beginnings.
And the thing is about what are you going to do next?
Exactly.
And the other thing, but when reading the Marseille, let me see. Illinois says the card that's always comes out for me is the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Another thing when reading the Marseille, though, is that tens are completion and swords are thoughts. So it could be the final realization.
Right.
So not necessarily the anxiety, but the final realization, the final completion of, I figured it out. You've stressed and strained over it.
Right.
But it can also be a breakthrough.
Like a eureka moment.
A eureka moment that says, all this struggle,
I figured it
have
out.
Figured it out.
Right.
It's still a heavy suit.
Sure.
So it's going to be based on what's left and right.
Sure.
But whenever you see Pamela Coleman Smith's picture,
Yeah.
I mean, she gives a snapshot, one frame from a much larger film.
Right.
So you don't see the whole film. You just, when you're reading, and that's why I always suggest to people to look beyond just that one frame.
But even with her, she sneaks in the sun. She sneaks in the
absolutely.
sunrise. She sneaks in the secret gestures.
Oh, I read with these every day.
Yeah,
and
there's good and bad in every card.
Yep. And so that is the Marseille.
Yeah. Ready for Crowley?
Mr. Crowley. God, I can never sing that song correctly ever again, thanks to you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So Crowley is. This one's a little challenging to find the 10 swords. There's the trick though. If you look for the hilts, you'll find them. So the 10th sword is there at the bottom there in splinters, and Crowley calls this the ruin of the intellect, and even of all mental and moral qualities. This is the ruin of that too. So this is really he sees it quite negatively. There's good and bad in every card, but Crowley is definitely seeing the negative side of the tens of swords. He calls it ruin, and has really not much good to say about it.
And what's interesting is I tried to find out why, with the Golden Dawn in particular.
Yeah.
But why is there a heart in there with 3 swords going through it?
Well, that is reminiscent of the.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't find references to Crowley and this when I was. And again, I'm not a big Thoth person.
Right,
I have the
right.
deck. I respect it.
Sure.
But and so for the symbolism,
It's
and nobody's acknowledging the fact that that's there. And the other
Sure.
thing is that I see is that it's that to me that almost looks like what you have on the chariot, on the front part with the chariot. Where you have that symbol.
The fertility.
The fertility symbol that's
Yep,
there.
yep.
And so I saw that, but
Well, sure, because that's, again, threes are creation. So it's
Yeah.
taking those 3 swords, all 3 musketeer style, it's saying, hey, this is about the ruin of of that.
Right.
And so you've got the heart being pierced. And then you've got 3 other swords coming from above. You've got the 2 coming from the sides. You've got another one coming right up through the bottom.
Right.
It's not a happy place to be. It's like a voodoo doll. You're getting all...
Right.
Yeah, but it's a completion. It's an ending, but it's really all ruins. And the reason I think that it's so negative is this is very low on the tree of life, right? So
Right.
you're going almost to the reality here. We started at the top which is the divine, and now we're entering the material world. Okay. And the material world is illusion. It's pain. It's not good. It's not like the what we strive for in the spirituality. So now we've been kind of like, and that's why 10 has kind of weighs heavy.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that's what I get out of it.
Okay.
Yep.
But I was wondering if anybody knows why that heart. I mean, again, it's got to be the Golden Dawn thing, and this is what I'm going to take out of this is trying to understand, because Pamela Coleman Smith, when she did the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Swords with that heart.
Yep.
We know that she was pulling that from the
Solabuska, sure, but there's definitely some symbology that is reoccurring, as you can see.
Yes.
So I think it all plays into that. That's my speculation, but I'll do some more research and see if I can lock that down. And if anybody wants to help, I welcome it. But moving on toward the cups.
Okay, you want to go to the cups?
I would.
Okay, so such a happy, joyous card.
This is the Lord of Perfected Success. And Mars is in Pisces. So you've got Mars, which is a fiery planet, and Pisces, which is oceanic planet. So it's balanced, right? And you've got this couple, and it's the conscious and the subconscious joined together. We've seen them show up through many cards by now. Mm-hmm. But look at how they each have one hand up. What they're doing is it's this symbol or this. This means. What is this? The sign of Typhon with 2 hands up or touchdown. It's the sign. And it's because their 2 is 1, they're making it the sign together. One of them has one hand up and the other has the other hand up. So the 2 have become 1, and together they're making this sign of Typhon. So it's basically a materialize, a manifestation. Everything is.
This is the happy card.
It's coming into being.
This is about the happiest card you can have. Yeah. Even if it's reversed.
Yeah, it's still not too bad.
The card does not have a negative connotation to it.
Well, it can.
In what way?
Well, there's good and bad in every card.
I've never been able to find it. Well, I don't know, because I don't see a negative connotation. Even if the 10 of Cups is reversed, it just means that it could be delayed happiness. But it's like, it's still
pretty good.
Going to be positive.
Still pretty good.
And the other thing is, so we have the 4 people here, and I just wonder if she intentionally did the 4 cups connecting here. I was looking at that.
Right.
And so, and generally, 4 is usually,
that's the material.
About the stability and the material. Yep. So we have 4 people here, and we have the cups touching down there, and it all looks, and the card pretty much reflects what it means. If we want to even go to the Marseille now.
Yeah.
So, come here, Mr. Marseille.
It's a happy ending, is what this card's often referred to than the Rider-Waite-Smith. But the trick is it's a happy ending for now, but what comes next? And there's always something next. It's always changing. So what happens when we start again? And now we've got this happy home life. The rainbow.
Yeah,
but
so we've reached that pinnacle. We've reached that pinnacle.
But now what?
Yeah. So, and it's interesting because here we have the Marseille.
Yes.
And it could have been 10 cups all upright.
But
it's not.
Yeah. We got the big cup is toppled.
The big cup is toppled. It's got the flower in here. So have you considered why this might be toppled?
So the people are rising up in revolution.
No, actually, so I was going through my different books because I thought it was interesting. So Joe Dworsky again comes up, he's an artist anyway. But
Yes.
He came up with the best reason why because I still see the Ten of Cups, and I always thought of it as that, that this is a large cup doing the filling, so that it's sharing and spilling out so that everybody gets it. So I always thought that anyway, because it's like
that's a
the
good
father figure or the leader figure, the positive person, spreading the spirituality out so it flows to everybody. And the way Joe Dworsky ended up putting it, he puts it much better than I do. The full heart becomes potential for action. We are approaching the ideal of holiness. Ten of Cups. Nothing for me that is not for others.
That's a nice way to think of it.
Nothing for me that is not for others. And I think that is a beautiful way to put it.
That is.
And so when this cup comes up, when this card comes up, it is that joy card.
Right.
And I see that it's like maybe, I always thought of it, maybe this is a higher power, or maybe this is that fountain of spirituality that's just flowing and filling up everything.
Sure.
Because it's, it's got more than all the others, and it's sharing.
That is definitely the positive way to look at it. I sometimes, when I'm looking at
What do you think this is like? Colonel Mustard killed, whoever in the parlor with a cup.
So
and that's why it's built.
Yeah, like for me, the Marseille always rings a little bit more on the negative side. So I see the working class rising up and toppling what the trickle down economics are trickling.
Hold on. Let me go full.
I know, right?
Let me tell you.
Usually
I had to make that official.
Usually I'm so positive, Usually I like to see the bright side in life, but for some reason, I see the negative in this card.
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So first off,
nothing is wrong.
Nobody's wrong.
Right.
If that's what you're seeing in particular, then I can see that also. It is, because it does look like this is overpowering.
Right. They've taken back the share. They've made him share.
But
traditionally,
So
there is no tradition with Marseille. It's all just feelings and stuff.
Right. Well, and actually, you are correct in that.
Yeah.
You are correct. But again, cups are about spirituality. It's about feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Tens are reaching that culmination.
Yes, indeed.
And so it's our choice when we're at the end what we're going to do with it. The Nine of Cups, to me, is ambiguous because you don't know what the way Pamela Coleman Smith has them. That is the what is that?
The Hollywood happy ending.
The smugness card for her.
Oh,
the guy sitting there smug like this.
Oh, the nine.
Look at mine. Yes,
the Nine of Cups.
So this is the completion after that.
Yeah.
So when we finally understand what it means and we're actually sharing.
Rise above. Yeah. Got it. Yep. Okay. Well, moving on to Crowley's 10. So
you know what I want to get? I'm going to get a little MP3
and just play that
every
soundbite.
time you say Crowley, I'm going to say Mr. Crowley. Yes.
We'll be paying Aussie royalties up the wazoo.
Oh,
but Ten of Cups. So Crowley says, satiety, which is the absence of hunger. This is what he calls the card, is satiety. And so the cups are a bit tipsy. They're spilling over. They're possibly wasting a bit. Some's getting spilled on the rug, maybe. Again, this is the low on the tree of life. So everything is good. I mean, the cups are full, but it's kind of like, you're just waiting for what next because it's a little bit drunk on its own power,
Right.
It's completion, and the new cycle has to start. So these cups are ready to spill.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not saying anything particular that he's saying anything different. From what I was reading and the research I did, he pretty much follows what we already have talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on into the wands.
You want to go to the wands. So what are wands in particular? Wands are
So wands are
fire.
action.
They're
Yeah.
action.
Fire. Yeah. Getting things done.
Fire. They can be used as weapons. They can be used for creativity.
Yep.
You can use them to create things. So it's a very creative card.
But this guy's a little oppressed.
Yep.
This is the Lord of Oppression, and it's Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is karmic, and Sagittarius is all about the action. You know, again, that archer. So you've got, the big squeeze is what sometimes this is called. This card is called. So he's squeezing all this firewood, and he's going home to his little house here at the end. I see him as collecting firewood after the long day, and he's gonna go and he's gonna put the logs on the fire and put his feet up. He's done all the work, but man, he's just, he's a bit oppressed. I mean, who knows if supper will be ready?
And this
Probably has to make it himself.
Right, and I love how Pamela Coleman Smith inserts the stage in so many, because it reminds us when we look at this card, all the world's a stage and we're just players.
Yeah.
And so, this guy here is taking all this very serious. He's taking everything on. He has this burden. It's so heavy and he's so awkward with it. He can't even see where he's going. He's absolutely
head down. Yeah.
Head down. He's blinded by what he's carrying. So, for all he knows, he could just walk right off that stage. But when he falls off that stage, hopefully he doesn't break a leg, because then he puts those down and he's like, "Oh, it was a stage, and there's the house, and it's not as bad as all I had to do was just let my burden go."
Right.
Just let this burden go.
It's time to rest. And it's essential in order for future action to happen. And he's all about the action, being a wand.
Right.
So it's like, how do I get that action started again? I gotta rest.
So, and here's why I talk
put your feet
about
up.
the nines being the finish line, and the tens is where we make the decision, because I know people who they've made it all the way up to 9, and they will spend their lives until they have a heart attack and die on this stage.
Ugh. And they need
I mean?
Yeah, and they need to sit down.
So this should be a cycle. Some people don't realize it.
Yeah.
They worked hard to go from 1 through 9, and then this is their life.
And you need to just, the curtains need to come and cover the stage before there can be...
Or you need to fall off the stage.
Oh, or something needs to happen before Act 2 happens. But the guy needs a break.
Something needs to make you realize.
Yeah.
You know what really irritates me? I'm going to go on a little irritation now.
Uh-oh.
And why I need to just trim my cards. I hate the fact that U.S. Games on all these dang cards.
Oh, the little border.
Put their, on all the
Sure.
cards. It takes away the magic sometimes. It's like, U.S. Games. It's like, I don't want to imagine. I just imagine that these go through the factory where they're created, and then somebody sprinkles fairy dust on each deck.
Well,
It's like the tarot board. It's like, people think tarot boards
Ouija.
come out. Did I say, the Ouija board?
Yeah.
They come out of the factory evil? Really? Is it because somebody's sprinkling, devil dust
devil
on each
dust.
one?
But that's why.
Anyway, so that was my small rant.
No, that's a good rant,
thing.
and you're not alone. That's why there's a huge number of people that
Trim the decks.
decks.
And I am actually thinking about getting a trimmer.
Yeah,
I am.
it's fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, we might as well then go to the Marseille.
Okay.
And we'll look at the definition of fun. Okay. See my cards here?
Fun.
My Marseille decks were originally that white.
That's right.
See that white? I spent days and I don't know how many hours going through my deck, and I actually aged them using brown shoe polish and just polish.
Oh, you're giving away your secrets.
No, I don't mind. And I did the backs, polish. Because I love,
Not magic pixie dust, but
not magic,
but
but
love,
but love.
and shoe polish.
Yes. And so, I need to trim those decks. And it's all about also adding our own special energy to the cards.
Absolutely, and they look great.
It's my pixie dust. So anyway,
yeah.
So here we have the 10 of Wands, and talk about oppressive. This is somebody who maybe they were standing up, and then all of a sudden it's like the weight just falls on them, and now it's like they can't even get up, and it's like weeds are sprouting from underneath them. It's like it's been there so long. It's not flowers. It's like these weeds are just like starting to sprout up underneath. It's like because we're so oppressed. Yeah, so that's kind of how I look at it.
That's a heavy
It
one.
is a heavy card.
Yeah, it is.
It is a heavy card. It's not a light card like we get with the cups and the coins.
It's true.
So put that burden. It's like have somebody pull you out from underneath there.
Yeah.
So
you can start again.
Because I mean, you have the 2 wands here, and 2s are about starting something, making a decision. It's like, and then you made your decision, and
Finality.
they throw everything else on top of it.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah, man.
Please relax.
Take a chill pill.
Yeah.
But yeah, ready for more oppression?
Oh my gosh.
We got Crowley's
And what does he call his?
oppression.
Oppression.
Yeah, so you see the 2 Dorjas? How do you pronounce that?
On the end?
The 2, these guys. These
Yeah.
2,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I think it's the Hindu, it's like their magic wand, basically. But they're the Dorjas, I think I'm pronouncing that right, of celestial power. And they almost look like 2 dark prison bars. Fire, it's keeping all these, what's going on behind them in check. It's the will which has not understood anything beyond its dull purpose, is what Crowley says. But fire in its most destructive aspect is what's going on here. It's like a volcano blast or something underneath there, and it's all being held down, with blind force from these 2, magic wands on top there. But that's, talk about heavy.
Well, did you find out why there's elves on top?
Oh, so that's just the Dorjas, these Hindu wands. They were often decorated with these in this way, with these faces on top and the pointies on the bottom. So
Okay.
it's just
So
paying tribute
it
to
has
that.
nothing to do with D&D.
No, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately. Roll the dice.
We're not going to play Master of Puppets or anything. It's okay.
Not this time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I got for wands.
Okay. And again, everything I read about this card, it pretty much matched all the other thingy-dingies.
Yeah, the work is done. Time to rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for our coins?
Well, maybe.
So that's last. Jump on into that. And this is a really interesting one for Pamela.
It is.
She calls this...
We've talked about this before.
We have. But I've got some new things to share.
I have some new things too. Go for it.
All right. So Lord of Wealth. This is Mercury and Virgo. Mercury being the mind and Virgo is analytical. But
lots of stuff going on.
So much. So the coins obviously are in the formation of the Tree of Life.
Yes.
And see this checkerboard pattern on the side there?
Yes, I do.
So that is bordering another dimension and exists side by side with our reality. Is that blowing your mind?
Okay. Tell me where you got that one from.
Okay, where did I get that one from? That's a good question.
I mean, it could be
that. It could be that.
If that is how you would like to interpret it.
So that is one idea. And because the whole idea of the tens, again, being that last step before the new cycle, before the Fool, goes... jumping into the next incarnation, that could easily be seen. See how it's all black and white and it looks like a different scene, like a pocket parallel universe.
Or it's like a banner, like the one here, a tapestry.
It could be. But I like to see it as a portal.
Sure, that is totally legitimate.
Yeah, like you're going from one to the next through there possibly, and you've got that checkered border. Which is all balanced. But then it's also about looking at the figures. Here's this patriarch of the family sitting here, and he's... it's almost like he's at the end of his life, he's giving his inheritance to the new family. The younger couple sits beyond him. The dogs still show him respect, though. The dogs are all focused on him because he's still here in his last breaths. But the dogs I see as representing spirit. And you see the old man, he touches one of the dogs on the head. And then the child, which is who is going to step up and inherit what the man leaves behind, he's touching the dog on the tail. So he's on the head and the young one's on the tail. It's again beginning and ending, which is perfect for the tens. The tens are all about that cycle of one cycle ending, one cycle beginning. So one hand is on the head, he's as he says his goodbyes, and one hand is on the tail saying, "I'm next." Okay. And that's the whole cycle continues again.
Yep. So what else you got?
What else have I got? So it's the alpha omega, that kind of thing is what I see with it.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you have?
Well, there's a few things in here.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first, a long time ago, started studying, I was surprised to see that the scales were in here.
Sure.
The Libra scales.
Yeah, gotta find that balance.
Gotta have that in there, yep. And so what's interesting is the actual picture itself. So here we have this couple standing just inside the gate.
Yep.
And the male is not paying attention to the woman. The woman is talking, and they're both ignoring the child, and the child's just looking off. So when we think about coins, we think about wealth, we think about, and we're talking about the tens and the completion. But this shows it's like, as opposed to the cups, where it was such a happy, blissful thing, these people got everything they wanted, and it's just this stony kind of, and I think his heart's probably full of stone too.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Then they leave the grandfather outside the gates.
Oh.
The grandfather's out. No,
He's
seriously.
inside the gate.
No.
Or he about to step through
here's the building. He's
right.
sitting outside, and so the family is disjointed. They've got all the money in the world, but how happy are they?
Aw.
And so think of it, keep that in mind. It's like, because money doesn't buy happiness.
Sure.
So a couple things. So talking about the dogs, do you know the story of Odysseus when he comes home after 10 years?
Sure.
So who recognized him?
Tell me, Jamie.
Dogs.
Ah, yes.
Nobody else recognized him after 10 years, but his dogs came out to greet him. So dogs know the truth.
They're the spirit. Yeah.
And so
they bark at the astral nasties too.
So they
like
come
cats.
out and they see this and they know this old man for who he is.
Yep.
We have other implements from other cards, because this is the end, and so here we have a wand. We have the scales, we have different things. And so who could this person be in his old age? But where are you at here? I got it. Where are you at?
I don't know.
I'll tell you who he is if I can find it. Here we go.
Who do you think he is? Oh, you think he's
see the grapes? See how
king
he's
of
got
coins?
that in his robes? Look at the king of coins.
The king of coins.
So
He does have the same.
So here we have the king of coins, and he is in his prime. There's his castle, all the fruits and everything else.
Yep.
He's worked hard.
It's that
There's
same
Taurus,
robe.
the bull right there. And then what does this get us after, in his old age? It reminds me of King Lear, where Lear gives all of his kingdom to his daughters, except for the daughter that really loved him, because she wouldn't just say what he wanted. He's like, well, you disrespect me, I'm going to give everything to my other daughter.
Right.
And Pamela Coleman Smith was of the stage.
Absolutely.
And so I absolutely could see this as being like a King Lear look. On your card,
Yep.
and I'm going to show the example here. These cards are redone, and I use these cards every morning, but it's,
Slide it over slightly
Yeah.
so that you can. There we go. Now we can see him.
Oh, okay. Is that, well, no.
What are you pointing to? The couple?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
sorry.
in the Ultimate Tarot, which is a really good book, people are saying she's smiling, looking at her husband. But Pamela Coleman Smith does not have her smiling looking at her husband. I think she's just talking to him.
Right.
And that's remade. So, again, I think that this might be almost a King Lear situation where they've got everything they could ever want, and yet who's happy? And then here's the king in his prime, and here's when he starts getting into his old age and maybe losing some of his faculties.
Yeah, I mean,
and again, so and just like in King Lear, we had the fool is the one that stuck by the king all the time because he knew the king for what he was. The same thing with the dogs.
The dogs, definitely, yeah. And then with the not looking at each other or looking at each other, it's kind of hard to tell because the man has his head back to us.
Right, but so, I don't see a loving family here. I am not seeing joy.
No?
No, not in the least bit.
Oh, I see it. But that's just me.
Look at that family.
That's definitely...
Pamela Coleman Smith, if she wanted to show, whether it's the Three of Cups
this is definitely more happy.
Yeah, if she wanted to show joy,
right,
she would show it. If she wanted to show the results of you got everything you wanted, congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a passing of the torch. It's definitely the old generation and the new generation. I don't know if
well, I think
the positive and negative, I think, can flip flop depending on your mood or reader.
Right. I think okay. So, if this is a reading, it could be money and wealth will come to you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think what she wants to display here also is that this card has nothing to do with spirituality.
It's very down on the tree of life.
Yeah,
you're right.
It is a very earth material sign.
Yeah, and like this is really the last card of the tarot. I mean, usually the 10 of Pentacles, many people put at the very end before the whole deck starts over again, and so you've got to make it to you got to hit rock bottom before you go to the start it over again, and so what's the rock bottom of the rock bottom? That would be the coins suite, which would be the most material of all the suites.
Yep.
And you got the 10, which is the most material of all the numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got this culmination of all this earthly manifested energy, which is there's nothing to go but up now because we've hit the most material. We're in the real world now.
And the thing is now is that we with this card, you know, as we go through, we are at the end.
We're at the end, man.
So let's take a look at the Marseille. The Marseille.
Yes.
So
10 of coins.
10 O coin. So with the Marseille, I thought it was interesting because somebody had pointed out that this is a lot like the world, the final card, the world 21 in the sense that here we have in the four corners, which would be the four animals, and then this is the same
circle.
shape mandala, yes,
yeah.
And then we have the growth here that's coming out. And I thought that was really interesting, again, because it's completions. And coins are wealth, coins are health, coins are home. And so it's almost like it's the
money makes the world go round?
It's the Pips version of, you know, reaching that end.
Right. And
so I kind of gravitated towards that because now I can't help but see that Mandela now every time I look at this card.
Yeah. So
and I see it radiating out.
Right. But money doesn't make the
And so with the four corners, that's the stability that comes with the tens.
Sure.
You know, and also if we want to go with the Pamela Coleman Smith, we can also see, though, by the time you get to this 10, you can see a division here.
Yeah.
And so we actually have a 5 here and a 5 here. So is this a unity? Is there unity here? You know, you could read it however you want.
I mean, I think it's both. I think it's both unity and separation. It's you've got the family unit, but it is breaking apart because people die, and so the family will evolve into the next cycle, the next generation of the family.
So again, if this pops up, it's still a positive card, and I see it that way.
Yep.
As money, as all the other things. But I also, it just reminds me to remind somebody that this is not a spiritual card.
No.
Congratulations on getting the money.
Right.
Hope it all works out for you.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, but wait, there's more. And so are you going to get a Mr. Crowley?
Yeah. So he calls this money he
calls this money.
He might as well. He calls it wealth.
Money.
Yeah, he calls it wealth. And so this is a complete existence. The last card must regenerate. Again, to the top of the tarot cycle, the world reincarnates with the help of Thoth, aka Hermes, aka Mercury, and that's why you see all these symbols here.
For Mercury.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically an homage to Thoth, aka Hermes, Mercury,
Trismegistus.
Yeah, all that.
Hermes Trismegistus, yes.
All that and more. But this is basically just a summoning his energy, because these are all his sigils, and you see the coins in the background manifesting. It's this is
right
as low as you can get on the tree of life.
And again, it pretty much has the same meaning from what I've seen. I didn't see anything deep and hidden.
Yeah, you're planning your legacy and ready to pass the torch to the next generation.
Right.
Yep.
So what else you got?
Let us.
Let me see. Let me go down the list here. Let me see if I got a 10 Pythagorean perfection and symbolism. Jupiter. 10 thought. The number 10 was also thought to be significant. Again, according to Saint Augustine, it denoted perfection, for it is made up of the number 7, embracing all things, and number 3, which signifies the Trinity. Everybody has an opinion about the number 10.
Well, and it's one of those cool numbers that like 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 equals 10. Right. So it's
you do all these
math tricks.
Exactly. So I think that might be about it as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So normally at the end, what we like to do is a reading of some type. We like to see how the cards look in a reading, because
as much fun as it is talking about cards on their own, it's only when we see them next to other cards that the true magic is unlocked.
Right, exactly. So I mean, did you have an opinion? I mean, the 10 card is pretty brutal.
Yep.
And that could, somebody could be wondering,
how can we put a spin on the sword brutal, or do you want to go happy? Swords or cups?
Well, I think in reality it's like I've got all this stress and I need.
You like the wands?
Where does it need to go? So let's take
do
a look
wands?
at the wands.
All right.
Because I think that's more of a realistic question that a human being might ask us.
Well, it's definitely one that's appropriate. I mean, we all have, that hard day where at the end of the day, and oh man, if I can just bring in this firewood.
Yeah. So you want to use your deck, or should I go get my deck?
Oh, I've got. If you want, we can use mine. Sure. Let me get mine together.
You got yours together.
Sure. Just give me a sec. And this time I'm gonna make sure these other 10 cards are well shuffled in there, so we don't have a repeat of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, last time. like let's go ahead and do this.
You're watching me do them. These are the 10 cards, and I'm putting them very randomly into the middle of the deck.
Okay.
You're watching me do it, right?
Yeah, he didn't shuffle last time, and so it's like all 9.
I did shuffle, but not 11. And you had the same thing. You did shuffle before too. And it didn't I don't know. They wanted us to be like all 9s and all 10s, but this, that is not.
Somebody had a rule. Okay.
That's not going to happen. Here, I'll let you do a shuffle too.
Okay. I'm going to do my magic shuffle.
Do magic shuffle. We need all the magic we can get.
I need to do a video on Riffle Shuffle because I get asked about that. The one way to handle a super large deck, instead of trying to sit there and do this and give yourself arthritis.
Yeah.
Is to do the riffle, do the
shuffle.
That's actually more gentle than the other way.
Oh, okay, good.
It is.
Good.
Less chance of bending the cards.
Excellent.
Watch this, see?
Yeah.
See. Like this.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
It's falling in
Yeah.
place.
All right.
Yeah, isn't that like magic?
It is. I'm always jealous.
Except now that I showed you that, it's like, okay, that time it didn't go over.
Well, it's better than me.
Do you have reversals in here?
I do.
Okay. So
Anything can happen.
anything can happen. So let's go down here to a full screen. Okay, so here we have our card.
10 of Wands.
10 of Wands. So
What are we leaving
So-
behind and what are we moving to?
what do we need to let go of?
Yep.
And what advice do we need for the future?
Got it.
So what are we leaving behind and what advice do we need for the future? Okay.
All right.
So we're leaving behind that beginning, that, and the problem here is that
Appropriate.
with the page reversed is that it wasn't even a good beginning. It's like not taking the time, not learning.
Rushing.
Page of Wands, some people say traditionally are about you can receive a message. You didn't receive the message. You just jumped right into
Right.
it. You know, and so you just weren't prepared.
Yeah.
So,
Too young and inexperienced.
so
But
Well-
when we can move forward.
yeah, there's no choice. It's self-will. You just are going to have to finish what you started.
But not necessarily half. I see it more as okay. We maybe we jumped too soon with the page reversed, but there's a burden that we've managed to get through, and now with the Chariot, we have the skill, the mastery, the willpower to move forward, to make the right choice, to go, to get our horses or sphinxes in this case in line and on the right course, because we're in control with our mind, right? We can control. We don't need what reins. We can control the Chariot to progress forward, and that's what we need to do. So I think it's perfect.
Okay, so I see that the bad beginning here,
Yep,
this is
yeah.
the result, but I see this as an attitude thing. This guy's got his head down. That is a negative attitude. It's like, you know what, no matter what, it's not going to be easy until it's done.
Right.
Take charge.
Take charge.
Show your boss.
Get your
"All
head
right,
up."
I am going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to just, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, then it don't matter.
No.
Yep. So, well, that's what that's saying here. It's like, you know what? Change the attitude.
Right. If you get your head up, you can take on the world. You can control the Chariot, and
Yep.
you can have your fame and glory.
So if you're going to have to do it anyway, show people that you've got it under control, because that's what the Chariot
Is
does.
Yep. That's right. Very well done.
Oh my gosh. I love this stuff.
Me too.
One day I'm afraid it's like we're going to get stuck. It's like, I have no clue
No,
what this
no.
means.
I'm never afraid.
I do that every morning. So I've got 200 videos that I've done every morning.
Yeah.
And every morning it's sometimes it's that stage fright, because I'm a musician, I'm a guitar player, and I'll get up there and I'm ready to play a song. It's like,
Do I remember the words?
what is the first chord?
Do I remember the words?
What song am I playing?
Right.
So I sit down and I lay out the spread, and it's like all of a sudden I think, what if this time it just doesn't come to me?
But it always does, especially with the tarot. I'm always surprised and amazed by how wonderfully it always connects and comes together. Yeah, you're right. There's a little anticipation and maybe a little nerves, butterflies. So I wonder what's going to happen this time.
Yeah.
But once it all comes together, it's like it's always like that 10 of cups.
Right.
It's always a happy ending. And
Yep.
it always comes together so wonderfully. The tarot is magic.
It is magic. So there we have it. We have finished the
pips. Completion.
And we now move to the court cards.
We
And
do have
We're
the-
discussing how we want to do that. We think we have an idea.
Yeah.
But we'll probably change our mind 5 times before next Wednesday.
Well, actually, now I think I will try and sneak away. So I might have to take a little break for the next couple of weeks.
That's perfect then.
Yeah, and it gives us plenty of time to figure out what we want to do for the court cards. But when I come back, another couple of weeks or so, hopefully I can get away this time, if the universe allows it. And then we can do the court cards, I promise.
And I've got a video that people have said that helped them out on the court cards.
So that can hold them over.
Yeah,
that can tide you
I don't know
over.
if you saw that or not, but it's like how to tell the story with the court cards.
That can definitely
So
tide you over.
if you go into the channel, to find us, as a matter
Yes,
of
let's
fact.
find us. How do you
Okay.
find us, Jamie?
Hey, so to find YouTube, because I see we have a lot of people on Twitch, if you just go to YouTube and type in MyTarot.org into YouTube, my channel's going to pop up.
Yes.
Or you can go to MyTarot.org, the website, and it's going to have links to the Facebook page for MyTarot, where we have discussions and all those things like that. It also links to
artieforever.com.
because he is a artist and a consultant. He is a consulting artist. Are you a consult? Is that what it's called?
I consult, I guess. Yes, sure. I create more than I consult.
He's an artist for hire.
I am basically a. Can we make this PG-13? I'm a whore with a pen. So if you can dream it, I can draw it. I will do whatever you can imagine. Yeah. The weirder, the better. But yes. But I am working on my tarot deck. So
yep.
That's what brings Jamie and me together.
So if you want to check out the court cards in advance, go to the YouTube page. Come to My Tarot and let us know what you think. Tomorrow morning, every morning, Monday through Friday, I do a morning reflection, a meditation thing, 7:15 a.m. Other than that, Michael, I think we are done.
We are always awesome. Done. And
I guess we're going to have some tempeh tacos.
Oh, sounds good.
So the plan is we're going to have tempeh tacos, which are really spicy.
That sounds great.
So thank you all very, very much. Have fun. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. All that other wonderful stuff.